Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Andre, and I want to make this quick video today to show you what separates the 1% of people that achieve everything that they've ever wanted in life versus the 99% of people that have these hopes and dreams, but eventually they take them to the grave, right? And this is actually something that I've gotten from one of my favorite entrepreneurs. His name's Sam Ovens. He's the creator of School, which is an online platform that allows creators to create communities and actually get paid for them, right? And Sam, he had a really interesting story. So he's pretty much gotten everything that he's ever wanted in life within the past 7 or 8 years. So a very short amount of time, right? And Sam, he actually graduated college. He was a big frat boy, partied a lot in college, got out, didn't necessarily know what he wanted to do, just like many of us, I definitely didn't know what I wanted to do. And then he got an office job, was immediately unsatisfied with it. He was like, is this really it? This is really what most people do for the rest of their life. They just sit in a cubicle. This is awful. So within just a few months, he actually quit and he sold off all of his stuff and moved directly in with his parents again, actually in the garage, right? And then within that first year of starting he actually started a consulting business in his parents' garage. He made $100,000. And then a year after that, he doubled that, $300,000, $400,000. And then shortly after, I think it was only 2 years after, he was in Forbes 30 under 30 and was one of the richest people under 30 years old in all of the US, worth over $30 million, right? And this video is going to show you exactly what he did every single day to get to the point where he was at back then and where he's at now, right? Worth over $30 million. Now, this grid here, this is actually from Sam Ovens. This is what I got from one of his teachings, and this is the 80-20 grid, right? So you can use this 80-20 rule in a lot of different, instances in life. They say 20% of your employees get all of the results for you, 80% don't. You can apply this with your clients. I would say probably 20% of your clients are going to get all the results, or most of the results. And you can apply this to life as well, right? So 20% of most people's actions are going to make up the majority of their success, right? Most people. Now, Sam, he kind of flipped this and made it so that all of his actions that he did every single day to get him to the point where he was super successful in a short amount of time were only $100,000, $10,000, and $1,000 actions, right? And most people, they operate down here, right? So every action that you do, you can actually put a price tag on it. It's really interesting. So most people that are unsuccessful, you can see that they're losing money with their actions and they don't even really realize it. Drinking alcohol, smoking weed, worrying about what other people think. These are poor people actions worth negative $100. Now, $0 actions, this is stuff like Netflix, checking social media, following in others' lives. It's funny because most people, they live vicariously through other people more than they even live through themselves. Most people are not even the main character in their own lives. Go to any restaurant, go out in public, anywhere, and just casually listen to other people's conversations. I guarantee you, you're going to hear people talk more about the latest basketball game, the latest celebrity, the latest this and that, and very rarely you'll hear people talking about their own lives and their own achievements, right? Very rarely. $10 activities are going to be trips to the store, like grocery stores, replying to emails, editing websites, and I would even say doing laundry, stuff like that. That's why I absolutely hate doing stuff like laundry and, doing the dishes and stuff because, once you get to a point where, you're making 10, 15K a month, you can eventually hire out for that, right? And I just hate doing stuff that's not $100, $1,000, $10,000 actions, right? And that's all I want to focus on. Now, $100 actions, that's going to be things like posting content, solving problems for clients, and reading courses and books. Now, you think that, going through a course or a book or solving problems for clients or posting content immediately, it doesn't give you that immediate return. But as I go further and further to the right, and you see that your actions are worth more and more, you're going to see that these are going to create you the most leverage over time. So over time, you're the most successful you can be, right? It's about the leverage that they gain, not immediately, but eventually. Bezos, he actually goes through this in his letters to shareholders. One of the most important thing he talks about is third, fourth, and fifth order consequences. Now, what this means is, when Amazon was coming up, right, and everyone said it was a scam. Everybody said it was a scam. Bezos, he never listened to anything of what other people said. It could be losing money immediately, but he knew if he eventually stuck towards the path to success in his mind, right, he was losing money today, but eventually he's going to take up so much market share because of the foundation that he was building up that it wouldn't even matter, right? And everything he's thinking is fourth, fifth, and sixth order consequences. He's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers pretty much, right? And 1,000 order consequences or $1,000 actions are going to be stuff like creating ads, creating email campaigns, creating systems like building out funnels and virtual sales ledgers are so important because you build it out one time. And then from then on, your life is immediately easier after building it out one time. This is why they're $1,000 per action, right? And then talking to hot prospects, obviously, you can tell why that one is $1,000 plus action. $10,000 actions is going to be things like improving your product. If you improve your product even a little bit, the more people are going to love it, more people are going to talk about it, and it's going to spread like wildfire. It's almost like building, a physical funnel, but even better. Honest self-reflection and self-analysis. This is something that a lot of people are just lacking nowadays because they're on social media, they try to flex, and they're not, they don't necessarily have the lifestyle that they're flexing most of the time, right? Like when I'm on social media, let's say like I'm doing a post, I'm always thinking, what did I earn that I can flex that I've actually earned? Like my body, I'm 230 pounds, I'm built, I always flex my body, but you never see me flexing cars because I didn't earn that yet, right? So I don't have a bunch of cars to flex that aren't mine. I haven't earned that. So honest self-reflection and self-analysis is so rare nowadays that if you do it, you're going to be miles ahead of people. Think to yourself where you're at in your current situation, and that's going to help you determine, what you should be doing at the exact moment to eventually get to where you need to be in life, right? And then improving your offer, that's inevitable that you need to continue to improve your offer and get it better and better. And that's going to happen with time, right? A lot of that happens with just like testimonials and just guarantees to help get people, push them over the edge to get more sales, right? So guarantees and testimonials are a must. And they're worth $10,000 plus per activity. Now, $100,000 activities, this is something that I have never gotten to, but, Warren Buffett actually, he was in charge of capital allocation and salary incentives. And that's the only thing that he didn't give up, from his CEO, right? So he allowed his CEO to do everything except capital allocation and salary incentives. So you can imagine how important those must be. When you want to decide, where to put your capital in your business and how to incentivize, your employees, those are some of the biggest things that are going to make the biggest change and the biggest difference in your business. Other things like radical innovation, you can't, do the same thing every single day. There's businesses like Bank of America and other ones that they got so big, but they just became like these giants that have never innovated, and then now like there's so many other companies that can compete with them so easily. Unlike Amazon, there's radical innovation within their business all the time, right? So they create these groups to compete against each other, unlike anything you've ever seen before in any other business. And that was a radical innovation that still helps Amazon to this day to move forward quickly, because there's teams inside of Amazon that are actually competing against each other for resources, right? So it's really interesting how Amazon looks. I would greatly recommend reading their letters to shareholders if you ever have any time. One of the best pieces of content that you can ever read, right? And then lastly, a $100,000 action is going to be establishing culture and brand, right? So if you're establishing a culture within your business, those first, second, third, fourth order consequences are going to make such a big difference, right? So let's take into an example. Like let's just think, most NFL or MLB players or professional players are people that are born in the beginning of the year. Now, why is that? Well, the main reason is because they are stronger immediately versus all of their peers. And then when you're stronger, you're going to get the ball more. And then when you get the ball more, you're going to end up with more goals. Let's say for a soccer example. And then you get more goals, the coach is going to play you more, the teammates are going to like you more, and then the fans are going to start cheering for you more. And that all happens because they were born before anybody else, right? So establishing a culture early on in your business is so, so important because it's the exact same thing. The first few hires or, the first few funnels that you make or whatever, you want to put a lot of attention into it because that's going to establish the later on success of your company. And then the brand, right? So like Warren Buffett says, you can lose me all the money you want, but if you take my brand and you ruin my brand, you're done for life. You're dead to me pretty much, and if that tells you anything about how crucial it is to maintain a strong brand, not putting yourself out there that you're partying, doing drugs, all this different kinds of stuff. Nowadays you have the OnlyFans with the girls, right? Or you're managing OnlyFans as a guy. That's eventually going to catch up to you because that's going to hurt your brand, right? And the more you can stay away from these things and the more you can stay on track with some of these other things on the right side of the column, like building funnels, creating email ads, improving your product, honest self-analysis, improving your offers, doing more of this stuff and doing less of the stuff like Netflix, smoking weed, drinking alcohol, worrying about what other people think of you. That's what's going to make the biggest difference in your life. And you do these actions every single day, then you're going to see a huge improvement because it's like feedback on a mic. If you put two mics next to each other, you're going to hear that beeping that goes beep, 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 beep. And eventually it's going to get so loud, it's going to sound like the freaking mic is going to break, right? Well, the same thing is going to happen in your day-to-day life. The more positive actions you do, the louder and louder and louder that beep is going to be, and you're going to get more and more and more and more feedback to the point where you're going to be like Sam Ovens, and then within just a few years, you can be on Forbes 30 under 30. Now, if you found this video helpful, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video.